Blox Fruits is trash, not because the concept is bad. The game has a skeleton of something genuinely excellent. A massive world. Dozens of fruits, fighting styles, swords, races, bosses, raids, transformations. An entire progression system built around becoming stronger. Instead of making those systems feel interconnected and meaningful. Blox Fruits often feels like uh, a glorified checklist where the primary objective is simply the get stronger. Get the stronger number. Best fruit. Just everybody's just trying to get the best fruits from the top of the tier list. It's uh, you know best swords. Everything is about the best of the best. It's not really the PvP isn't really fun either. If you say so. But yeah, the biggest problem is its progression philosophy. You grind enemies so you can unlock the next island. So you can grind enemies slightly faster. So you can unlock the next island. So you can grind enemies. um, the game constantly advertises discovery. But much of the actual experience is repetition, disguised as progression. About 80% of the servers, no, not 80% of the servers, about 80% of the players are bots or people just, using a script or hacking so that they can resell the account for about $10 online. It's a really good method because, let's be honest, it doesn't take long to level at all in this game. With a script, obviously, but otherwise, if you're trying to grind the game normally, like the typical sheep, the typical cornball, you're gonna have trouble. You're gonna find yourself doing retardation. You're gonna find yourself wasting time. By the time I got to Scott PL, it was just like, okay, this game is raping me completely. I'm like level 400 at that point, right? It's like, okay, the maps are fun. It feels like One Piece, but at the same time, I'm done. I can't do the same thing over and over again. And nowadays you can just buy accounts for like $2. Just buy accounts for like $2. And I think that's what everybody's doing. Every time you get in a server, there's like a noob skin that has everything in the game. There's always a noob or a new Roblox avatar. There's a new Roblox avatar that always has the top tier stuff. That always has a top tier sword. Always has top tier fruits. I'm tired of seeing the I'm tired of seeing kitsune fruit. I'm tired of seeing the cornballs using. Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, all right. So, as I was saying, I was getting off topic. Back to the main topic. There's an enormous difference between exploring a dangerous world and traveling to another location, because the NPCs they're given more XP. Then there's the combat. Blox Fruits has flashy abilities, but visual spectacle, and mechanical depth are not the same thing. A giant explosion covering half the screen can look impressive, while the actual interaction underneath remains predictable. Activate ability, spam mobility, wait for cooldown, cornball stuff, and then repeat. The game frequently confuses more effects with better combat design. The fruits themselves are another missed opportunity. The premise of supernatural fruits should allow for incredibly creative combat styles, which they do have custom fruits, but but the balance frequently becomes subordinate to whatever ability is currently obnoxious enough to dominate PvP. Instead of encouraging players to master different approaches, the meta can make certain fruits feel like obvious investments, while everything else becomes something you use because you're bored. The economy doesn't help either. So much of the experience revolves around acquiring the next thing rather than actually experiencing the thing you acquired. You know, you farm currency, farm mastery, farm fragments, farm bosses, drops, rolls. Eventually, you realize you spent hours working a second job inside Roblox. Well, really, that's like a lot of tower defense games as well. But so your character can perform the same fundamental activity slightly more efficiently. The community reflects that design philosophy. A huge portion of the culture revolves around trading, grinding, flexing, PvP, and arguing which fruit is superior. It's not inherently bad when the surrounding game systems don't provide enough meaningful alternatives. The entire ecosystem starts feeling like an endless competition over who possesses the most valuable digital equipment. The most frustrating part is Blox fruits could be incredible. Its foundation is ridiculously strong. Imagine if every island had actual history. It's One Piece, I don't know. That's just the depth talking. Hey, ignore the last 30 seconds of what I was just saying.